so happy to be here today. My name is Courtney Landry. I am the Senior Product Development Manager for our household cleaning line and China Hard Goods. And I'm very, very excited to be here. Conference in US and Canada was such a success, and there were so many questions that came out of it that we wanted to do a live so that everybody would get the same information that I shared at conference. First, I'm going to start off telling you a little bit about enzymes because one of the pillars of what we use in household cleaning is enzyme technology, and I feel like that's really important to understand. I have a couple of cute little examples that I showed at conference, and one of them is just trying to explain how enzymes in the soils that they are able to degrade are very much soil specific. So in as layman terms as you can possibly get, what I did is I labeled different locks which are to represent enzymes. And we have 6 different enzymes that we use in our line on a daily basis or on a regular basis. And so what this is meant to show is the enzyme is the lock, and then it's very, very soil specific at a molecular structure level. So, lipase is only going to break down fat and oils because those are the only molecules that will actually fit into an enzyme. And so if I was to try to break down a protein soil like urine or blood, and my formula only had lipase in it, then this lipase is not going to help me at all with blood and urine, because that is considered a protease. Only a protease enzyme is going to fit into that. So that's really important to know. If we look at our formulations, we're going to be giving you guys a cheat sheet here pretty soon so that it shows exactly what enzymes we include in which of our products. And now I'm going to switch over and I'm going to just give you a really high level intro to probiotics. Probiotics are actually what creates and produces enzymes. So they are a good beneficial bacteria. And when they are, their main source, their whole reason for being is that they seek out sources of bad bacteria and dirt and soils and things of that nature. They create all kinds of different enzymes that actually break down those specific types of soils that they get into contact with. And why that is so important and why we introduced the probiotic hard surface cleaner for this August launch is, probiotics are, in our mind, the future of household cleaning. And there's so many wonderful benefits to probiotics. And so when we started looking a couple of years ago, so this has been in development for almost 2 years now, we really want to lean into the probiotic technology because it really is very meaningful, and it's really efficacious, and it does a really great job. So again, probiotics create enzymes. And so why that is important with our product and why we developed the probiotic hard surface cleaner, good and bad bacteria are one of the fastest replicating organisms in the entire planet. And it's because of, let's take it back to high school, it's because of binary fission. And so every time it reproduces, it doubles in size. So 1 becomes 2, and then those 2 become 4, and they're very rapidly replicating. And that's both for good and bad bacteria. And remember, probiotics are a good bacteria. So when we're developing this product, when you look at, we're going to use a light switch as the example. So when you're using your microfiber, you're physically removing up to 99% of the dirt and the soils and the bacteria and everything, just exactly as you had always intended. And why this probiotic cleaner is so exceptional as a pairing to our microfiber and water is when you're adding these probiotics and the different ingredients that we have in this, the amount that's being left behind is a good beneficial bacteria. So again, knowing that good bacteria is always seeking a food source, I'm talking in very layman's terms here, it's always seeking a food source. So as it comes into contact with dirts and soils and other bacteria, it will create enzymes that will then, enzymes are cute little ninjas is what we call them. They're like little ninjas, nature's little ninjas, because it breaks down the soils and makes it easier to clean and to wash away. So you think of the example that we're talking about with the light switch cover, you have physically removed the bacteria and the dirt, and you've done all of the things, but then life happens and kids come home, family comes home, light switch goes on and off, people are reintroducing new soils and dirts. And what the probiotic is doing, exactly what we talked about, it is seeking new sources of food. And so it is looking and actively seeking. So when it comes into contact with that bad, dirts and soils and bacteria, it's creating enzymes so that it can break that down. And the beautiful thing about this is it does this for up to 3 days after you've cleaned. So that gives you a nice longer lasting clean, because again, life happens. We can't be cleaning our house 24/7. The other beautiful thing about this product in particular is the fact that probiotics have this really strange side effect that is just a bonus to all of us, and that it slows down the resettling of dust on surfaces. I don't want to say it repels dust, but it slows down the resettling of dust. And that's a really big feature that people have really enjoyed. And then the last thing about this product in general is that it also dries faster than water. So if you were to do a little test on your own between water and then using this, you'll find that this actually dries significantly faster. The other wonderful thing about a probiotic cleaner is, when we're mopping and we're cleaning and we're getting into the small cracks and crevices, it's easy for us to get water down into those locations. But if you think about between the slats of wood or in your grout, it's harder to get that water up because it's a little bit more of a porous surface. And so, our microfiber doesn't magically grow little arms to get down into every little nook and cranny in there to get the water back out. So when you're leaving behind water that has the probiotics in it, again, it instantly goes into action and starts looking for soils. So we've seen a lot of really good feedback where I've same vinyl flooring or whatever the case may be for 30 years. And now all of a sudden it gets clean between where the vinyl was put together, the little vinyl tiles. And that's because there's years of buildup and gunk that the probiotic is breaking down, because it is always seeking organic matter and creating enzymes which are feeding on and degrading, not feeding on necessarily, but degrading the soil. So we're really excited about that. And so I'm hoping that this is helpful for everybody from an education standpoint and to help you be able to sell the product a little bit better and be a little bit more comfortable talking about enzymes. We will be doing another training session coming up here at the end of the week, talking in much more detail about probiotics and enzymes and prebiotics, postbiotics, the entire thing, again, just to tool you with more information and training. So that wraps up my part of it. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment. I always recommend contacting our consultant care connection, because they have a database. So if you have a question, it's highly likely that somebody else has that same question, and they're building a database. So if you submit your question to them, then they come to me for an answer. If somebody else has that same question come up, they're already tooled, and they can tool you with the answer to those questions. So looking forward to talking to you again. I enjoyed meeting everybody the last couple of weeks. And yeah, that wraps us up for now. And if you have any questions, put them down in the comments and we'll get back to you.